and Sonia. Um, my mentor is Arvin and Poonam, and the diamond is Sid and Rup Ganguly.
Awesome, Anita. So proud of you. Welcome to the Elite Club.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
This is a team of winners.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You have the best upline in Charmaine and Sonia. Let me assure you that.
Yes,
Wonderful.
yes, thank you,
So proud of you. And do you want to
thank you.
talk about how you finished your 300 PV?
Oh, most of my customer that I got is through work. So I always give samples and like now it's like it's cold, right? So I would say, hey, the place is getting cold. Don't you need some vitamins? So I show my product to them pretty much, have them test it and all that stuff. So yeah, that's how I got mine.
So
And then
pretty
I
much
have
sampling, you mean?
yes, yes, sampling.
Awesome. And then did you, all of a sudden in the end of the month, did you realize I have to do 300 personal, or you put in equal energy and effort every day of the month?
I didn't even realize I was over 300 PV, but I keep like I push myself, so I wanted to go further. So yeah.
Hashtag
I was
little bit.
this close. I was this close to like 900, but I did 600. So I'm very proud of myself.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing,
Yeah,
Anita. And
yeah,
looking
thank
forward to your BFI this month. I know you have a new launch in Tanuja, right?
yes, yes.
So how many
And
legs?
I have someone else who was willing to join, but I think when she had joined this business maybe like 10 years ago with her husband, but I think they gave up and she decided to come back, but her husband passed away. And Amway want a death certificate from her. So that would take 20 business day before I sign her up. So
Oh,
yeah,
understand.
yeah,
Understand. that You're doing a swell job and really looking forward to your BFI this month. Really,
yeah,
really. And
yes,
praying. See, this is what happened. So if you didn't even know you crossed 300 because you were
no,
so committed to
yes,
working every day, right? It's
yeah,
just little bit every day. So that is what it is. Hashtag little bit every day.
right,
That's
yes,
what whole
yes,
business is all.
yeah.
Amazing. I know we have another new 300 PV, Nilima Soni. Nilima, do you want to share your excitement?
Hi, Roop. I'm sorry for the background noise if there is any. I'm still on my way back to home. So yeah, just switched on the camera for talking. So yeah, I would like to share. Very excited, and I think for me, this was the first. I mean, I joined MWay about 3 months back, and then this is the month I planned in advance, and I'm glad that I worked um, as I planned. But definitely, this was is my sponsor is Helen, and my mentors Sid and Rup Ganguly. Um, those small tips every day are working as a booster for me. So that's the key. And um, I think
You're cutting off.
experience more products experience.
You're cut.
Am I audible?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Yeah, now we can.
Is it better now? Is it better?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So I was saying that me, yeah. So for me, I think thank you to my sponsor Helen, my mentors Sid and Roop Ganguly. All those mentoring tips every day work as a booster for me. And what worked well for me is a little bit of planning and follow the basic principles what I've been learning every day in different meetings. So I think each meeting I make sure that I'm taking a takeaway for myself. So I think that's something which helps me.
That's fantastic, Nilima. And what is your work ethics? You're getting two numbers on an average per day, right?
uh I ensure that I am doing two numbers every day. It does not matter, irrespective of what the response is, irrespective of um, if somebody is joining or not. That's their wish, but I'm following that principle. So I think that's something which I'm making sure.
Fantastic. Fantastic, Nilima. And are you doing the same thing as Anita? Like, are you sampling a lot?
Uh, Honestly speaking, I have started doing the sampling. This really helped. Initially I started sharing my own experiences. I started sharing with people that how I have been benefiting with the Nutrilite, as well as the skin products. But recently I realized that giving samples is a great way, because the moment I started giving samples, people started showing interest, and they really love you know using something. So I think that's something which I have now started.
Fantastic. Thank you, Nilima. And again, congratulations to Nilima and Anita. And now it's this beginning of the road. That means every month, consistently, you need to keep this standard and move ahead incrementally.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So I have an interesting workshop today for you guys. I need all of you guys to talk about why you joined the business. Okay. I need you to talk about when you joined the dotted line. I know I keep on asking, but I will keep on asking. So, why did you join that dotted line? What were you thinking? What was your vision from the business? And what is your dreams? So, why did you join the business? And considering where you are right now, at what position you are, and what is your vision for tomorrow, for this fiscal year? So, anybody can start. Anyone can start.
Hi, Roop. I can start here.
Yes, Harsh.
Yeah. So I joined the business in a very short period of time when my upline showed me the opportunity. Was nothing at that point of time which was clear to me. Okay. But it was one thing which I realized the first time was that I wanted to make money. Okay, I wanted to make money, and being a student when I started, I see there was no other way for me and my expertise to make money for myself. So this was my starting point for starting the business. That was my biggest why at that point of time. And as soon as I start connecting to the BWW system, started seeing guys like you and other diamonds in worldwide, I realized that there is a way when I don't have to do job for rest of my life to pay my bills, and I can live a lifestyle I want to live. And I've always been a guy who is impressed with a great lifestyle, okay, expensive stuff, okay, and that is where I realized if in this business, I can create that sort of passive income and that sort of a network which I can leverage for long term. I think I can get that lifestyle without really sacrificing my profession, because being an immigrant in this country, I had no backup. I have no family here, nobody. It was just me, and I had to do everything for myself and my coming generation. So that is how it polished more. It became more strong, and that is where I'm running through it to the point till today. uh, I feel like I have achieved around 10% of it. So still 90% is uh, it's waiting for me, and that is what I'm looking for and working for on a day-to-day basis. And now I have Anchal in my life as well, so we both work together to get to that goal.
Amazing. Great stuff. And do you revisit your goals and dreams every day?
Yes, Roop. Every day we have mostly our wallpapers, okay, our dream boards and everything. Our dreams and goals. Yes, we do that.
Amazing. That's great stuff. I still remember me and Sid, or Sid and I, whatever you say, we used to travel all these locations, our dream houses every weekend. We would revisit the jewelry store. We would revisit, the brand name stores every now and then, and especially when we were in doubt, when things were not happening, when people were quitting. That is the point you need to revisit your dreams over and over again. And that is the reason we are living in a house which was actually written, we had written it, a house on Mississauga Road. And that is exactly where and we had also written we would have a 5 bedroom house. And we do have a 5 bedroom house. So we actually had written down our goals. A lot of people make fun. What is in there? If you put up a picture, that doesn't mean that you will own that house. Or house is just an example. Whatever is your emotional dream or your tangible dream or intangible dream, whatever you have, you put it on a piece of paper. And if it's visual, all the more better. And just put it, and you visualize with a lot of feelings that you've already reached there. And the next question of my workshop, actually, I'll come back to that, is what is your biggest fear? So before that, Charmaine, you want to share yours?
Yes, Ruth. Good evening, everyone. Someone is downstairs waiting for me to drop off some vitamins. They just called me. But I will say mine quickly. First of all, when this business was approached to me, it made a lot of sense. That was the first thing, because if I could use products that's going to make money for me, I switched over quickly, knowing that I can put that money in my pocket. And I wanted I want a great lifestyle. I'm not living it, but I know I'm destined for a great lifestyle. But based on what I was doing before, if I kept doing that, I knew I wouldn't be able to have that great lifestyle if I don't have team players to leverage. Because when I learned about leveraging the business, then I understand exactly what leveraging is and how it can create that lifestyle for me. But I have to stay the course in order to make that happen. And also for financial stability, I don't want to be always worried about money, wondering how I'm going to pay the bills, wondering if something happened, what am I going to do? So, with all of those things, I realized that if I can focus, if I find a great team, which is you guys, and if I put my best foot forward all the time, this stability can be created, this leverage can be created. And not only that, it's generational. So when I learned from the business, reading the books, and also going to the association, the functions, and so on, learning and growing is going to create that for me, which I know in my current job, even though I'm self employed, that will not happen no matter how much I work, no matter how many hours I put in. So, therefore, I also want to be able to have money enough so I can give back. And I've always thought about helping a school back home. How do I do that? I have to have money to do that. So if I can help myself and help others get what they want, then for sure, this generational wealth will be created. And I always said that even if I'm 90 years old, I will still be talking about this business as long as my mouth can move. I will get people in this business, because this business is the only business that I've seen, and I've been in other marketing business before, but this is the only business that make 100% sense to me, because I will use these products whichever way. And my goal for next month, for next year, is to be around 2,500, 25, I would say maybe 4,000 PV. Because right now our team is growing and we are nonstop. We are just going to keep going and growing. So 4,000 PV is my goal for next year.
I need the month, my dear.
The monthly goal?
No, the month you're going 4,000.
The month.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am thinking, I'm not analytically like you, Rup, where I can think about it that way. So the month I would say is June.
Wonderful.
June
See, the reason
year.
I'm saying this, Charmaine, even I'm not like that, right? I'm an artist. So my right side of the brain is more pronounced than the left side. And everything is haphazard and everything is very abstract for me. But I had to work on myself, my dear, right? So it is like this, when we see the science and the logic and the power of the subconscious mind and what it retains and what it can understand, we understand that unless you put a certain date to your goal, Your brain says file not found. Your brain cannot understand or fathom what's going on. One day you can go 4,000, right? So that is why you can break it down into your incremental growth. You can go BBI, in the month of March. And then you can say, hey, yes, of course, if I go BBI in the month of March, then definitely you can go 4,000 by August, right? Very practical goal to have. And then remember the vision I had in FED, the flash I had, Charmaine, I think I talked to you about it, is whoever is on the 2,500 and up, or this meeting right now, 25, I wouldn't say 2,500 and up, anybody of you who are here right now at this forum, at this meeting, you guys all can be at FED as brand new silver next year in October. And that is my vision. I was telling Gurjot, I was telling Smita that, my vision is, it just came that all of us are sitting together and all of us are saying, brand new silver from Toronto, Canada. Okay. And you guys are telling your name. And so much of ruckus and so much of noise we are making. And I can just feel it and I can just visualize it like it's happening in front of me, like right now. Right, Charmaine?
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. It is possible. It's high time.
Make sure I will add it to my book so I can see my vision.
Yes, ma'am. And by the way, for all of you guys, Charmaine is a class act. As you can see, this is exactly how you should be speaking. Look at her tonality, look at her choice of words, look at her body language. All right. So there is a lot to learn from everybody. Okay. It is not that, she's eloquent in English. Yes, of course she is, because it's her first language. But other than that, the clarity with which she spoke, the delivery of speech, when you're in an arena of leadership and when you're talking to people, these things are very, very, very important, because words is just 7%. All right. And your tonality is 33%. Your body language is 56%. So, and it's a people's business. So these things are very, very practical. All right. So we need to brush on ourselves. As I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself too. I need to brush on myself too. So thank you, Charmaine. Who wants to go next? You're welcome. Anybody wants to go next? Come on. Okay, let's pick on the birthday boy. Raman and Sandeep.
Thank you, Rupa. I was just with Rubani. I couldn't reply you at that, but I heard. Thank you for your wishes.
Yep.
Yes, yeah. So initially when I started the business, I just wanted to do something. I didn't have the vision, didn't have the goals, but I wanted to do because I was open to do something. But after a while, I always say that after a while, when our daughter was born, that was the actually time when I actually got serious into the business, and I understood that I have something in my hand, which uh, which I couldn't have in my job, and I can get through the business. That was mostly money part, yes, but yes, mostly it was time, because I have already spent a lot of time in the corporate sector, and I understand how it's going to be in the future as well, which I'm looking at from last few weeks as well. I'm busy with the stuff and don't get time with the family, and that's what actually because. And when I came here, I got laid off for the first time. That also shocked me initially. And I wanted to have something of my own which I can build, I can, rely on, and me and my family can rely on. Not only me, but yes, coming my future family and my current family as well. So that was my why or vision, that when I saw this. But initially, not being very serious in the business, because I was very kind of employee mindset, when I came to the business. But I knew that I was going to the right direction, even though I was not able to fully cope up with the things. But I stick to the system. I keep on going to the meetings, and that's what actually because if I would have disconnected myself from the system, and even my daughter would have born, I wouldn't have got that desire to do something. And being in the system, and and when Rubani was born. So that was the really key point, key thing when everything changed. I started to change everything which I couldn't do in the last 6 months. being in the business, doing all the activities, not activities, I would say, just going to the meetings. And then I started doing reading. But and for just when I just was 20 days reading and continue consistently, I saw that difference in myself. So that gave me a confidence. I had the confidence that business works, but it really, can I do it? I didn't have that confidence initially, but when I read the books, started reading consistently, so that gave me the confidence, and that I can do those things. So that's where my journey started. But yes, that was my vision. So always have in front of myself that what I wanted to do, first five things. That's in my, right now in front of as well on my bedroom. We keep the things in front of us. Now, yes, Sandeep would have different things, but this was our why. Yes, of course, money is also thing. If we have money, we can get everything, right? So, but uh, intangible things. But yes, but intangibles are more powerful, I would say, are more bigger than the tangible things which you can achieve. And that's what I understand. This business can provide me, and that's what I am. And even though we're not doing good sometimes, but I have started this. I will end it with the things, with success in the business where we wanted to see ourselves, and that's our goal is.
Wonderful. Raman, you're always doing good. Never say that. You're the bestest. And that, brings me what the thing you were just talking. I was just actually talking to somebody new right now, just before the training. And she's like, I talk to people, but I lack information. So I was saying that, yes, you can get as much of information as you want and you can. But the main thing is your emotion, what people sees in you, right? It is your story. You have to be talking about your story, which you are. The reason I'm doing this exercise today is when you're talking to a new person or doing an MG or doing a follow up or making a connection, for the first time, DTM, then the emotion is what travels through. Okay. People don't have the time or energy right now to listen to what you're talking about. The attention span is very small, but people can feel the vibrations from you. So that is why, if you are so clear about your story and your why, because sometimes that gets a little, that those dreams get cobwebs. So that is why you need to go back and revisit your dreams and understand your story. And so that, you memorize that story and you can emote with complete effectiveness or efficacy. So wonderful, Raman. Yes, we would want to hear from Sandeep too.
Yeah, no, thank you, everybody. Nice to see you, everybody, here on 300 PV call. My name is Sandeep. Me and husband, we're both running our business. Our upline are Harsh. They're here. And my why, I never had a why before, to be very honest. When I came to this business, Raman started the business. I was not into the picture for first year, for more than a 1 year plus. So he go to meeting, I go with him. I got excited. I get very excited, when I see the meetings. And then when I don't go to meetings, then nothing happened. So when my daughter born, I was on maternity leave. I had a time started to join the meetings. I was so negative. I still remember that time when there was a COVID hit, and then everything was on Zoom, and there was a news that people on the Amway, there are a lot of things behind it. Like there was like I was saying Raman that time, so like, look, Raman, what is this? But I don't know how that happened. I started this business on the Zoom and started doing meetings like, BWW and everything. We were on the BWW subscription from long time since we started the business. I think I heard only once or twice before my daughter born. After that, I started listening. And when I started talking to more with the Harsh and Anchal, when I don't know, something started happening. And more importantly, when I start seeing Raman, how he changed. So that's how I started, dreaming. My dream is always changed. So recently, I mean, like from few times from now, my dream is I don't want to work for my job for all my life, because normally because I work on Saturday, Sunday, I don't want to give Saturday, Sunday all my life to where I'm going for work. Because next year my daughter gonna be in kindergarten. So if she's going Monday to Friday and I'm going Saturday, Sunday, I don't have much time to give it to her. So that is my biggest why. As soon as possible, I have to work it hard. I know I am working hard. Every month is not same. Somehow I'm learning too. And I know Harsha and Achal always there. And Roop, I do talk to you. You know, you're always helping me. So, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, am I doing right thing? Like, am I talking to this person right? Am I talking to this person I maybe didn't talk to right? Sometimes I feel okay, I did talk to right to her, but yeah, I mean, but I know I'm not giving up. I definitely am gonna go platinum next year for sure. There's no doubt about it. I, once 2500 hits, there's a no way we can move backwards. So there's always we're gonna move forward. 2500, 4000, and then 7500. It's a done deal from my end. Yeah, and we're
Yeah,
gonna make it happen together.
45, it's a big bump for us, but yes, we're gonna cross it.
I know for sure. Like me and Sid, Sid, remember we were trying to hit 4,000 forever. Like going once, going twice, going three times, going four times. We failed so many times. There was a time we were like, when are we going to hit 4,000? Are we going to hit 4,000 ever? So, so everybody gets a bump on the road, maybe later or maybe earlier, whatever happens. But keep the faith. As everybody, talks about, Bilbert talks about, everybody talks about, you're just one IBO away from a financial explosion. And God will bless you with that IBO once you're ready. Okay. Sometimes we also don't know if you're ready, but God knows. So when you are really, tired, you cannot take it anymore, you're like doubting yourself, you're like sweaty, with your sweat and blood you're doing everything right, and then you're thinking, you're crying, you're emoting, and you're saying, oh God, what is this? Am I not supposed to be in this business? Am I not supposed to be successful in this business? What is going on? And whoop, out of nowhere, God blesses you with that right person.
Right.
And you have to keep believing that. A lot of people, that is why opposite of success is quitting. Opposite of success is not failure. Opposite of success is quitting. So as long as you're plodding on, you're dragging yourself, or you know, you're so much hurt in the battle that you cannot even crawl, you're pulling yourself, still keep moving somehow. All right. Can assure you, these are the stories you're creating. That is why you can mentor your team. That is why people who are on their own, they go through these, they can mentor their teams properly, because you know how it is. So when tomorrow somebody in your team tells you this, you can empathize, relate to that situation, and you can actually tell your story instead of just theoretical story from a TED talk. you know so that is why these things are so important. But proud of you guys. I know this team is the bestest of the bestest of the bestest of the team in the whole of BWW system. Just the wait and watch. When Sid and I talk, we are like, this is the lull before the storm. Look, when the whole Ganguly teams erupts out of nowhere like a volcano. This is the dormant volcano. This is erupting. So once we all erupt, people will not know where to hide. People will be, oh my goodness, where was all these people hiding and all this while? But we know, because all of you guys are working hard. And if nobody is watching, God is watching. And believe you me, we are all going through the same thing together. Sandeep and Raman, proud of you. Never say defeatist words about yourself. In fact, today itself, I was talking to my dad and I scolded him for that. So my dad was like, oh, I've become such a nincompoop, in my own language. And I said, dare you talk like that? I'll just keep the phone down if you talk about yourself like that. And he started to smile. I said, yes, you have no right to talk about yourself like that. So anyways, so who is going next?
I'll go next.
Yes, Sonia.
Okay. Good night, everyone. And of course, I'm watching everybody's face when they talk, and I can see that we are all excited. We are all having a good time because we are actually revisiting our dreams. Sometimes when you ask these questions, you stop to say, because a lot of times we forget what we're doing and where we're going and where we want to go. So this is a nice time for us to all to reflect, and seeing that we are all enjoying this. So for me, I was looking for something. I was really and truly looking for something because I don't know how many times I've said it. When I analyze what life is about, I know that we were not placed here to work from 9 to 5 till 6 to 5. I know something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong. So when I landed here in Canada, it's like a new world opened for me. And I'm like, people work the way they work, the snow and everything, you just have to be going. So I said to myself, there has to be something else for me. I am not just here just to make ends meet. I'm here for more than that. So for me, it was a no brainer when I saw the opportunity. I said to myself, well, this is it. What I learned from the beginning is that is not something that is going to be a walk in the park. I know that just as how I put myself through college, got a career, I could go through this business, however long it takes me. I'm not looking left, right. I know that this is what I want to do. And it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. When I hear from the stage what people go through, what they have, you know, put, I mean, struggles after struggles, and you get up and you go again. For me, I know that my struggles are temporary. I know that I'm going to find my six. Every day I give thanks for the one I have, then I look around, there's others coming. Even if they're not working, I know that one day they will see it. Because based on what is going on now, it's only the silly wouldn't see that you need to do something other than just going to the 9 to 5. So for me, I put my foot out. Some days I'm a little lazy. I know we all have lazy thing about us, but every day at the forefront of my mind, this is my business. I have to work my business. Whatever pin I am right now, I know that this is not my pin. I'm at 2,500 forever, but 4,000 is the next, and I'm willing to do what it takes to go there. I am definite. I have the best team right now. I couldn't ask for a better. I mean, Charmin is like you would say, Sid and Rup. You don't hear Charmin without Sonia. You don't hear Sonia without Charmin. And I think God has blessed me with somebody who has seen what I see, and all we are going to do is move forward. Charmin's vision is to go 2,500, 4,000. As soon as she hit that pin, I know 6,000 is the next for me. 4,000, 6,000. So I'm seeing myself maybe in April, May, going 4,000 solid. So I'm working. My vision is to see another person in this business, because you know eat, you're gonna do everything around this business and make money. So that's how I approach it. That's how I say to people. Some would listen, some see it as a joke, but for me, I know it's a lifetime practice for me. So I want to get all those trips in Amway. I'm not worried about not going on trips. If I get a trip now, I'm fine with it. But I want my Amway trip. And I know it's out of my sweat and my tears that I'm going to get that Amway trip and
Amen.
those trips that are coming. So I know I have to give back. And in giving back is the people who I'm going to meet. One by one, I will meet these people, however long it takes. However long it takes. So I am doing what I can on a daily basis to touch as many lives as I can. And I know that's what this business is all about. So I think I have touched my vision. I've touched every little thing in this. So we're just going to work as hard as we can. And going platinum is in the horizon, working towards that.
Absolutely. Hashtag FED 2024 Silvership. Okay.
Yes.
I know Bong can create a better hashtag for me, but this is. And when I think about you, Sonia, I remember a podcast I was listening to where they were talking about, how Navy SEALs. Do you guys know about Navy SEALs? They they have the strictest of regimens, you know. So how are they selected? They're not selected based on how strong they are. They're not selected based on how intelligent they are. How they're selected is very simple. You know, when they have lost all their energy and then when they have given it all, still somehow, if they see somebody in trouble in their team or somebody beside them, they go inside deep of their heart somehow to bring that courage out and to help that other person. That is the quality of a Navy SEAL, and that is the quality of being a team player. You know, that is, you epitomize that, Sonia. And I'm so proud of you for that. Because, and this is what a team building is all about. You know, service, giving, you know, giving for each other. And a lot of people think, why am I going all the way 2 hours, 3 hours serving somebody? That person can do it for themselves. Hey, maybe if that person could do it for themselves, they would. Maybe they need direction. You know, sometimes we think of other people's in the same way as we are, but we forget when we started the business, how we started the business. So it is very imperative we understand these things, that is the willingness to be there for each other. And that is what this team needs to be. All right. We're all working for ourselves, but, we have to sing one song and one motive, hashtag Ganguly team, hashtag Silver Ship FED 2024. Do you believe that? Do all of you guys believe that? I am, while I'm talking to you, I'm actually visualizing, that room in Baltimore FED. And all of us, the first 2 rows are filled with you guys. And we are all chirping, we are all happy, we are all hugging, we are all kissing. And we cannot wait, to be so proud of ourselves. So when we are talking about this, we are not talking about just one person here. We are talking about the whole organization. And that kind of a feeling needs to come in, guys. Right? So anyways, I'm talking a lot, I think. On to the next person, please. Anybody who wants to go next.
I'll go next, Ruth.
Yes, come in.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I apologize again for my voice. It's not the best tonight. I have to say that when I actually joined the business, it was towards the end of the COVID era. And but before that, I was always looking. During COVID, I actually lost my job just at the beginning of COVID. So I was home and I was always looking because COVID kind of like was an eye opener for me where, for who don't know my story, my husband actually got COVID and was in the hospital. So during that time, he was in there for 6.5 months. So during that time, I was home with my daughter and I'm like, if this is what my life is going to be, why can't I then now make a turn and do something different for myself? And so I was always on the hunt for something that I can do at home. And so then, I went through a whole selling house, moving into a new house and all of that. And when I was in my new home, I was still looking. I was attending a lot of information sessions, to understand what, all these network marketing opportunities were. And some of them I found to be very hocus pocus. Some of them were very not very clear. A lot of them wanted money up front, which I think was a big red flag for me. So when I was contacted about this business opportunity, at first I was a little skeptical, but then afterwards I said, you know what, if it's product that I can use and get something back from that, and then duplicate that with more people, why not? It makes sense to me at that time. But then, and then I got into it and I started, and I've been doing it now for a little while. And I am enjoying the journey. It's the best business that I see so far that anyone could get into. it's the matter of getting more people to believe and understand what we're about and what we do and how it changed lives. And so that's my path. My path is to continue building on this business and to go further in it, because at the end of the day, my goal is that I do not want to continue working for someone for the rest of my life. My goal was that I wanted to be retired before I hit 50. And I'm hoping that that goal is still possible. So, and I will work very hard for that goal to be possible, because I still have time to do that. And yeah, I want, before COVID, I kind of had a good life before COVID, because I was able to travel twice a year to go away on vacations and do so much more things. I had a lot of vacation time. But then after I got this new job, I'm like, 2 weeks of vacation? Nah, that doesn't cut it. I can't be working and getting 2 weeks of vacation. That doesn't work for me. So that's my main goal, is to continue to build my business to where I can be able to, fire my boss and then take as much vacation as I want and travel as much as I want and spend all the time I can with my family. And my goal is that by January, I have to, I have to break BBI.
Wonderful. And that means, Kamini, this month you have to be a BFI first.
Yes.
Amazing. So when I think about you, Kamini, I think about a complete mastermind alliance with Gurjot, right? The way you've been her wing person is amazing. I was reading somewhere that they drew a graph between performance and trust. Okay. So everybody wants a high performance, high trust person, right? But sometimes the performance may be that conducive, based on your situation, circumstances, baggage you carry, or whatever. But if the trust is high, you know that it's just a matter of time you reach your destination. So even if you start as a high trust and low performer, we would rather have you in our organization than somebody who is maybe a high performer, but a low trust person. Because everything boils down to trust and loyalty and friendship. And you epitomize that, Kamini. And that is the reason I'm so proud of you guys, because all of you guys, we are maybe, and I won't confess that to my brain, we are the bestest team. But you know what? We have that loyalty, that strength, and that character that a lot of other cannot and will not, can never have that. And Kamini, remember, I was telling you in the function that one of you is equal to 20 or 25 other people over there in the function. So it's always the size of the fight in the dog. And we are huge fighters, each one of them. As you can see, that's why I had you tell out your stories today and why you joined the business, because it's very important, to stir up your emotions, because sometimes we doubt ourselves because the business is so simple. But it is those times when we start questioning ourselves. And if that happens, then of course the belief drops. The belief drops, the activity drops. The activity drops, how can you reach your goal? So it is not about just, I was talking to Gurjot about the same thing last evening. If we talk about goal, sometimes your brain doesn't register. But we have to go deep inside and look at the core. What is the reason? Okay, great. Thank you, Kamini. And who wants to go next? Everyone.
Sure, I'll go next.
Okay.
Yeah. So by the way, happy birthday, Raman. Yeah. So Rup, so we're doing, when we first signed up, how we felt, what made us choose to do it, and then our goal for the year. So when I first signed up, I actually didn't understand anything about the business. I didn't understand the plan. I didn't understand anything. We had a couple products in our house because my parents were product users from my cousin who used to kind of sell. So I knew some of the products. I knew I liked energy drinks, but I didn't understand there was a business there. I didn't understand that. But then my father, who I've spoken about in a few meetings before, if you guys don't know him, He was 67 years old when he showed me the business plan, or when he sponsored me, not when he showed me the plan. He showed me the plan after he sponsored me. He was 67 years old, and I'd seen him since I was 15 years old, in and out of comas, no muscle, losing his muscle mass. He used to be like a really healthy person, like a lot of he was very active. And I lost that version of my father due to a fluke accident. So, and I'd seen him go through a lot. And all I understood when he showed me the plan is I hadn't seen him be that excited about anything in a while. He just said to me that, hey, you know, like when Sid and Rup go on vacation, they don't have to close down a clinic, because he had his clinic, close down the clinic and lose money when they're not working. And he's like, they can earn more than me as a doctor. They have better taxes, and they get paid when they're on vacation. He was so excited about that. And his age didn't matter to him. His lack of ability to walk didn't matter to him. All that he cared about was how exciting it was. And so, because he was excited, I was excited. So when he said, I'd like you to do 150 PV, so I hit my 1500 PV goal, I just said, okay. I didn't understand PV. I didn't understand anything. And that's why I signed up. It was as easy as that for me. And then my goal is to be, you know, continue being a high performer on this team, and really set some new standards for our performance in the team. So I would like to be I will be in a very strong Q12 qualification for 2024 by September. By March, my team will have 4 growing BBI leaders, and Kamini will be one of them. And I will have 12 HTP legs, and 6 of them will be growing for the FED silvership. And I'm really excited because I see that desire in a lot of my team to move forward. And I know this Ganguly team has something special. There's no other team like it. And I want to be able to, you know, be as, you know, just like for everybody, all of our success is each other's success. So I want to see all of us just dominate. So that's what I visualize, and that's my goal.
Thank you so much, Gurjot. And let me tell you about one more thing. You know, as I'm talking, actually, I'm trying to teach a little bit as well. Let me tell you the kind of environment, you know, we've been able to create in this team, and I'm so proud of it. And I'm so proud of you guys. See, she came all the way to Toronto to build her leaders, to build her team. And she came across a customer who was all set to buy a luxury cream. And then at the end, she came to know that it was actually Smita's customer. And she used to be. You know what? She actually called up Smita, asked her, and then she didn't touch that customer. You know, that is what the ethics is. That is when you know that you've been able to create an environment, okay? That this is a team wherein it is completely blessed and completely tight and completely in love with one another, okay? So if these things are there, you know, all the others, I know you guys know how to show a plan. You guys know how to sell a product. It's a no-brainer, right? But it's the character and the attitude we all carry. So, and that is why, you know, this is so imperative that every month, this fiscal year, we need to break one BFI or one BBI or one new higher pin higher than 600 every month. And that means, see, we are all working in unison. But that means that, for instance, month of November, 25th of November, and we are all communicating with one another, okay? And we're like, who's the next BFI? Who's the next BFI? Okay, you guys wrote some names. So say, you know, 1 or 2 names could not make it, you know, life came in the way or whatever happens. Immediately say it was from Smita's team, and life, you know, came and she had to say go back home or whatever. The person who was supposed to be BFI. Then all of a sudden, then Harsh comes in and says, all right, I'll fill the gap. You know, I'll have a BFI from this organization. Okay. So that is the emotion we need to have to portray our team in front of the bigger team. And unless we have that emotion and we have a reason bigger than doing just Amway and selling products, we are not moving on. Okay. So that is what I need from this team. Okay. Okay, how much? How many BFIs you have? Okay, is Ganguly team having no BFIs this month? All right, I'm claiming it. No matter what, I'm signing up my youngest daughter and I'm going BFI. Things like that. And we've all done that. So nothing wrong in that, because, that shows gumption, and that shows that we have an intention of, lead and win. And then that culture, it seeps onto the team as well. And that is when all of a sudden you will see we are just running, we are growing like crazy. Make sense? Does it make sense? Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Malini, Ankur, Helen, Sachin.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that because I'm changing my headphones, so it's showing me different options just to make sure that you can hear me. So the reason I joined this business is because I had already got the shock from the corporate world. So I knew that the journey is not going to be pleasant, and I don't want to be in the corporate world and get fired or laid off at the age of 60, 65. So that was 100% sure. And when I saw this environment here, I saw the people, and that's true. No one understands the business plan the first time. PV, BV, and all that thing doesn't gel. You see it, but the only thing you remember is the big numbers. So I realized, okay, these are the numbers. So eventually, I knew that I'm going to start the journey. So I'm not going to quit. So that was for sure. And when I saw the people, when I saw just people over here, products, and all those things, I was sold out. Number one. And I realized that this is all the people I met, I saw, they all were kind of champions. So I could visualize that I'm part of the team India, let's say, and I'm playing with all these high quality people. So I said, nothing, there is nothing that could go wrong. All I have to do is just keep on practicing, keep on attending, and keep on doing the things that I'm doing. So that is the most important thing that actually triggered me to start this business. Now, as far as the journey goes, as long as you are continuing in the journey, you will reach the milestones. One day you will reach a certain goal, certain pin, but that pin is only going to come one time. What is important is the journey and keeping moving forward. So maintaining it. So sometimes you might be a little bit slow, but as long as you are developing inside, you are actually progressing. You might be 100 PV for let's say 1 year, but internal growth is very important. We would rather like you to have 100 PV for 1 year rather than having five going 4,000 or 6,000 and quitting. So that internal growth was very important, and I was really enjoying that process here. Products were mind blowing. I remember when I joined the business, there were different products. Now different products. So products is not the thing; it's just the journey. And I know that this is the only opportunity that could, it's giving me my peace of mind. I get peace. I get it's a beautiful journey. I I knew that this is a people business, and before joining the business, even the social circle that I had, I knew that some of them are really fake. They might be just saying hi, hello, but no one is going to come in real time to advices. Anyone can give you free advices, but no one will be there holding your hand and saying that, hey, come, I'll help you out. So that was, I was already aware of it, but that is something I realized that if I'm here in this organization, I know that there are people here who will be always there with me. Doesn't matter whether they are cross lines or whatever, but they will always be well wishers with you. Yeah, some local people, some social network might be well wishers as well, but they don't want to be part of your journey. So that was a big thing. I wanted someone who could be well wisher and as well as part of my journey. So I know that in this business, as long as you are continuing, one day something is going to happen and you will hit a pin. Falling back, going forward is a part of the journey. That's the part of the life anyways. All you have to do is just keep on doing. So that was my dotted line. when I signed, I saw these big numbers like platinum or the trip which I'm going next week. I'm very very happy for that, and all the future journey. So I don't see myself really sitting with my boss and talking about goals, and I'm really fed up of that because all they talk about is nonsense, nothing else. And here, we are so good quality people here, Harshmeet or Subodh or Tina or Raman and Sandeep, or I could take like names here, Gurjot, Kamini. When I talk to them, I don't even feel anything. It's I could always get a good positive vibes from them. Doesn't matter whatever, even like sometimes I talk if I talk to the cross lines, I never get those negative vibes here. And fortunately this business works like that. The people who have negative vibes will never survive. So as long as you are in the business, you will always be with the positive minded people. So that is the number one thing I really enjoy in this business, and I have actually learned a lot. Not only the business skills I'm learning, but my spiritual development has also started, and eventually you will start your spiritual journey. And when you see that all the talks and leadership talks and everything, they are somehow linked to the spiritual side as well. So that is the beauty about this business. And trust me, when the life hits you, you will start your spiritual journey that time, because you need peace inside you. And that is the thing I really really enjoy in this business. So for me, there is no dead end. Just keep on moving. When it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, that's all in my destiny. And no one knows what that destiny is. The only thing is I know is that one of the destiny I don't want is that I quit and then I go back to square one, which is going to the job, which is not an option for me, because I hate that. So sometimes people don't know where they want to go in their life. Find out where you don't want to go in your life. So that's where I don't want to go, and that's where I will fall no matter what. So that is a definitely dead end. And just staying with the high quality people like you guys, I'm sure it's going to happen. Pin is regardless. Money is going to be a byproduct. But what really excites me is that hanging out with you guys and exchanging the energy and the quality talk. That's beautiful. So with that, thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Sachin. We're looking forward to spending time together in Achievers. So wonderful. And yes, leadership journey can be very lonely, I understand. And that is why you need to create a great friendship and relationship with your upline so that you can vent it all out. You need somebody to just vent it all out. Okay. You need good friendships. And then after venting everything goes back to normalcy. But that is what is required sometimes, rather than, you feeling toxic inside and sharing that toxicity or that ambiance in the meeting, in the bigger team. You need to choose your friends, and just need to somebody to just vent it all out, right? So Sachin, we are so proud of you, and you basically give us all a different level of um, what can I say, what kind of a person you are, right? You've gone through so much last fiscal year, and despite of that, you kept your promise, and you basically held the Ganguly banner high by being the only Q12 in that room. By the way, let me tell you, all of you guys who were there in FED, there was not a single Q12 from any of the other diamond ships. uh, and I'm talking about non-Kumar diamond ships. But Sachin was the only one over there, and it's so proud of you, Sachin, for that. For keeping your promise, and I know your team is coming up as well. So, who wants to go next?
Who will go next, Rup?
Okay, yes, Ashok Smita.
Hi, everyone. We're Ashok and Smita. When we started the business, see, we've seen a lot in life. And I remember when I first had my first job, we bought a nice home and everything was great. We had our first child. And then, life hits you because you don't own the job. They had started downsizing, then we had to move and you're stuck. And a few years later, we had a nice home, but then I had a visa issue. And, for 1 year, our house was on the market. I was paying rent in Toronto, mortgage in Cleveland, and it was a really tough situation. So when we saw this opportunity, the best thing that I really liked about it was aspect of having some security in life. Because if you have some kind of income coming outside of your work, that's a really big bonus because it always helps in life. And I've like worked over 20 years, and I always talk about like different types of jobs that there are, like in the corporate side or non-corporate side, profit sector, nonprofit. There's no security. I remember one job, a director in a company, she retired, and she had a nice home in Orangeville, and then she said she was selling a home and downsizing. So I'm thinking in life, you at a certain age in life when you want to retire and enjoy the good things in life, she wanted to downsize because she wasn't getting her salary anymore. So the jobs are only good as long as you have that salary, but you don't own that job and you don't know when it could be taken away. So that's why building a business is really, something I really look forward to, because if you build an asset for yourself, then money will keep coming for you. And that's the most important thing, because especially when you have a family and, people to take care of. And again, you don't want to work for the rest of your life either. So that's why my goal was, build a business, have some security, and then build it on it. So then I don't have to work for the rest of my life.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Sid and Rup. It's so nice to listen from everyone. It's like it's so nice. And yeah, like when I joined the business, actually, I was working when my both boys were born. I didn't work. I don't know, somehow just I just didn't want to leave them to the babysitter or whatever. And then when they started, the younger one, they started grade one, then I again started working. And we saw this business that time they were in the school. And my goal was, because they were younger, I was home, I feed them breakfast nicely and everything. When I started working, in the morning, it's rush rush rush, like I didn't like that. So when we saw this business, I thought, what, I can replace my income, so I don't have to go work. Maybe when they grow up later on, if I need it, I can work again. So that was the one reason to build this business. And the other thing is, I love the association, because I am from joint family in India, like, surrounded by the people, like, I love people. And here, it's like mostly nuclear, even though we have a lot of family here, but it's not the same thing. So I believe through this business, like, we charity begins from home, right? We don't have that much spare money to give the charity, but I believe through this business I get a lot of blessings, like someone skin got better, someone lost weight, I get so much blessing. So that thing I really like in this business, because we can give them to people, and the money is the side byproduct, of course, but we can do that. So that was that is like really helps me, and like really I like that, doing that actually. And in the FED, thank you so much, Sid and Roop. We got the opportunity to talk for the BWW shorts, and that was, one of the dream come true. It was so exciting, and just I'm waiting for to come on the BWW TV. So thank you so much, Sid and Roop. That was really really exciting during the FED, and yeah, FED was, see, the function is always, I always believe the function is for you. You go for function for yourself, and I always notice whatever you are lacking or whatever not happening in your business, you think all the speakers are talking about that, because that is your dominant thought process, right? And uh, and I'll talk about the goal for this fiscal year. you know I am a big believer of numbers, and my goal is to make $10,000 a month by end of this fiscal year. And that is my goal, because I just work on money. And we have, we always had have 6 PV checks, so doesn't that's why every pin, whatever we make money, because we have personal 1,000 PV. Maximum at 7,500 PV, I have made $4,000. So definitely the Ruby volume can give me definitely $10,000. And that is my goal. I have exact clear money goal with 3 of my organization, taking them to BBI, and then rest in the side volume. So that is my goal. I am really not focusing, because Roop says, till you go emerald, you are the hard emerald and diamond, you are the hardest working person in your team. And sometimes I think, like, I deal with a lot of my downline clients as well. And but you keep telling me all the time, Smita, you don't have to get tired. You don't have to get tired. You just keep growing, keep doing the work. And the good thing is, when you see the good check, doesn't matter where you are not Q12, but at whatever pin you are, if you have nice structure and good personal PV, and with all these brands and everything like BFI and BBI multiplier, I believe in the money goal, and that's my goal, Siddhan Roop, and definitely, we will hit it. And one thing I will tell everyone, make sure when you close your month, it says your potential income. Take a screenshot of that every month, or write down somewhere, so at least you know how much money you are making, and how much you can make more, and then where you can fill in the gap and stuff like that. So yeah, with that, we are done. Back to you. Thanks.
Thank you, Ashok, Smita. Thank you for being such great friends. And with her, I learned from her a lot. As I was actually, that was my topic also, and I talked about it in the function co-creation. All right, it is not that you are an upline and you're always dictating, so you should be able to talk with one another without feeling that the other person is going to judge you, right? So we all learn from one another. As I always say, one person cannot have it all. Some people have certain skills, others have certain skills, and we should all, that is what makes a beautiful team, right? So we should all learn from each other. As you could see, our sons are almost the same ages, and they grew up almost together. And so that is the kind of an ambiance we need to create, right? Co-creation, healthy environment, always smiling, having a, happy disposition, so that you can, give, that kind of a quality to other people, so that people can stay. No one person is a magic, the whole system and the team is the magic. So when they speak, some people, they join, they may not relate to me, but they see Gurjot, maybe they relate to her. Maybe they see Sachin relates to her. Maybe anybody, Sonia relates to her. So sometimes it is about the bigger team, and that is basically is the crux of today. Why Sid and I, had you guys speak about these things, is the bigger team, and the emotion is more important than your micro team. So the macro team is more important than the micro team. And once you understand that, then all of a sudden you will see, you are moving ahead incrementally. All your cobwebs are gone, and you actually know, because the path is so clear. As you saw that, how Smita talked about the money. And that is why we are in the business, to create income streams. And you need to be very specific. All right. And that is the reason a lot of emphasis has been given for BFI. BFI is a structure goal and a PV goal, right? You cannot go BFI unless you have 150 PV personal and 3 legs. Okay. And then you mature those 3 legs, and then go BFI with 4th leg. Maybe out of the 3 legs, one goes away. That always happens. Then you replace it with another one, then another one. And then by the time you go BBI, ideal situation is you go BBI with 5 to 6 legs. And out of that, 3 legs will go 300. All right. So that is why regular counseling with your upline is very important. Okay. And counseling means counseling. It doesn't mean that, you counsel and then you use your own brain and do your other things on the side. Like when Sid and I counsel with Kulin and Meena and Kanti and Lata, then, we listen. We don't add our 2 bits to it. Why? Because they are more experienced than us. Maybe we are not able to understand, but in the long scheme of things, in the big scheme of things, they mean good for us. So when you're counseling, that means full 100% submission. That doesn't mean that, you have your own little agenda on the side. So that is something which is so important. Like one thing which stuck out for Sid and I is when Kanti said, we had a private counseling session with him, and he said, people follow followers. People don't follow leaders in network marketing system. So that is why we all need to be connected, entwined with one another for a common purpose. Make sense? So then, because you guys feel more secured when you see that, Sid and I are getting our information from Kulin, Meena, and Kanti and Datta. That means you know that we are not floating around like free radicals. We are just not using our head to teach. It is the system, is the magic, as I said. And that is why we have to be part of the bigger team in order to understand network marketing. Get it? Great. Awesome. I know Malini hasn't spoken, Helen hasn't spoken, Ankur hasn't spoken. I need to hear from all 3 of you. Come on.
I'm next.
All right.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for inviting me for 300 PVs session tonight. I know some of you might realize or something or know me or aware me with that when my first beginning to join this business, I wasn't really kind of very interested to begin with. And that was years, like I'm talking 15 years ago. But then again, I had a full-time job. I work at Chrysler, as everybody knows. Then and when I was invited for one person that I was just oh, just let try, and that was after church that I was. But then again, I just go with a circle of friends that I have. So whatever my friends do, I just follow. No, nothing else. But other than that, didn't really absorb the whole thing. But I didn't realize, but I was the one that worked harder than the rest. So at that time, I was 6,000 PBs at that very particular thing. It wasn't like that that's as we have now. That is very more intense on something when it comes to um, um, point values or something like that. But anyway, things that happen because of the nature of my job, I always they things happen in my own personal families. My husband passed and all that. Then actually, I was joining the business through my husband's name. I didn't use it myself, but I am the one that worked on that. But it happens that when he was gone, and then a few months later, I was transferred to Windsor. And 15 years back, it was just exactly forgotten. Like I was just forgotten because I focused on my own family and on my things. It's a lot of things going on at the same time, and then at the same time, and then I am very like I don't know anything when I move back here in Windsor. But then again, no one came to me and called me, "Hey, Helen, what's going on?" And this and nobody. So for me, it's not important anymore. Things happened 2 years later, and that was July 2022, I believe. Someone just called me when I was at work, and text after text, and that was the person that I love very much, and I know her name, but it wasn't really, we're not that close at that time. I know who she was. And then I thought to myself, but before that, things going on that I know I'm planning to retire. And that was a little bit early, but I just don't want to work anymore. And I thought I work enough. To be honest, I worked 37 years in Canada. This is my experience here. I never worked to anybody else back home or anything. This is where I learned my job or everything for that long. And then I thought to myself, well, I'm thinking that if I'm going to be retired, then what am I going to do next? And I know I have a lot of missions in my life. I like to create things of my own. I like to do some charities here and there. I help people to someone, any countries that I would like to share, I can share or something. So that's me. Just my choice of being me. So anyway, things happen. My I'm so proud of them. My mentor, Sid and Rup, came to my house and just said, Helen, just do things and like that. Didn't even explain things. I said, leave me in. And that's it. No questions asked. And I work it. And I love, before going that, because I love the products. That's why the reason I cannot quit in this business no matter what. Because before that, I love the products right away. I've been using even if not doing the business back then, and I just do anything because first of all, I love the products 100% from home, from my health or anything like that. But then again, before I joined, I still using the product for somewhere else that I found someone at the church that they're doing the same kind of, like I found some kind of common grounds in myself that I said, you know what, I was like that, but I love the product. I said, so I keep ordering it from her and from him. And things happened. I said, you know what? Why don't I go back in it? When Rob told me that I'm gonna be in the business, so I said I was excited because even if I'm retired now, I am keeping me busy. I love to do things. I like to talk to people. And now, even though it's not something that I am perfect on this or I'm good on it. I like to talk to people as well. So I started getting on and move on until I am getting there, and I started the BBI, and then I keeping for the no, not BFI, and then keeping for BBI. And I know I have goals in my life, and I'm still continue because I cannot stop the mission that I love to do, no matter what. I do a lot of things back home to my personal business as well. But then again, this year I know I'm gonna move on no matter what happened or whatever things on that. I just need a matter of looking for a smart a smart skilled people that I'm it's the right person otherwise. And I know I'm going to be succeed on this business, and I believe on that, and I have the faith for doing things like that. So I'm going to continue on forward and move on to that, to reach my goal to be like my mentor said, that I have to be silver or something. 2024 is gonna be my year, to be honest, and no matter what happened. And I'm looking forward to reach for my 4,000 PV either this month or within before December, and I promise that. And that, I guess that's all I can say. Um,
Great, Helen. Thank
that's
you so much.
that's it.
Thank you, Helen. Now, here is another example that doesn't matter if somebody was in Amway before. She was in Amway before, and she didn't find proper mentors, and that is the reason she didn't continue. But if somebody says, "Oh, I was in Amway and I've been there, done that," that doesn't mean you should have the gumption and confidence to say, if you have not joined my team, you have not joined Amway. If you have not seen the presentation from me, you have not joined them. And that kind of a confidence you should instill in them. And look at her, she is definitely a value add, and the youngest 60 something I have seen ever in.
Yes, I believe in your group. I'm the I'm the oldest.
And
Oh
youngest at heart. Amazing. Ankur, need you to do the honors next.
Hi, Roop. Sorry, I was trying to avoid because I was driving. So I'm now home. Hi, everybody. I'm glad that this call is being conducted like this, because it just brings me to always think about what can excite me more and more on everyday basis. And I think I'll repeat. I'll give those references as I'm going to talk. So yeah, I mean, the why I started this business. Actually, to be honest, I wasn't prepared to start this business at all. I was just it was just out of courtesy and out of respect to my upline that I signed it, because he drove miles to talk to me. Um, Although I liked the products, but I wasn't sure whether this business would work, because it didn't click. But he said that, Amway gives you a 3 month, money back guarantee on your sign up. So that made me, that reassured me. And that's like, okay, fine. If I don't like it, I'll get my money back. Because at that time, I mean, I was very conscious on how my dollar gets spent when I was doing my PhD. So of course, once that is done, and then my upline convinced me to attend this function, and that gave me a big picture in the Amway business. And I realized that this could be one way where I can be free in terms of not having to go to a job. And of course, I enjoyed the vibe and atmosphere in that function. And I think after that, just my upline who sponsored me, he connected me to Roop. It was after my first function, and I think that made me reassured that, okay, I have some help available in the business. And I think after that, I started to attend my local meetings. And I think that local meetings, as I've been told already, that Brit Worldwide system did give me also a reason to stay in this business, because the associations and everything I enjoyed being an immigrant. You do want to be in the company of other people, like-minded, happy people who make you happy. I think that in-person associations and talking to uplines and all those things did help me, and I loved the products as well. So because product helped me personally, and I realized that no, you can't go wrong with the products usage at least. And of course the business started to sink in a little bit. I wasn't 100% that time in the business by heart, but something in me kept me going in because of the fact that I wanted to not be in the job world for a long time. That just kept me going, and still is a time, still to date, I'm in the business because I do want to create that financial choice for myself. And I think the reason why I still continued, as everybody was saying, it has to be an emotional why. And that why wasn't really strong, and because of the maybe because the pressure of performance in US, I wasn't, and still like no, still it's to date is not. I'm still I'm getting there, but still it's in the back of my mind I have to perform at my job. Maybe that's the reason why I couldn't couldn't explore also of personal development. It's something which I realize that this business is not about me. It's about how you can um, light up the dreams in other people. And I think those things I'm still working on, and continue to develop that skill to how to light up the dreams in other people, so that other people can see your dreams, light up dreams within you, and then people can follow you because you see something in them which will attract you towards them, attract them towards you, and stuff like that. So I think this is something I've realized now by now, and I'm still working on this. And emotionally, what I would say is that the reason why I uh, would like to move on is also to be with my parents more, because they're obviously, you don't realize this. Of course everybody has parents, and in terms of them growing older, and you don't realize the value until things happen, the health wise, you realize that okay, the time is not your friend, you should have to move on. So I think that this is something which is emotionally sticking in me more and more. And obviously to also to be able to see whether I can have my moving on, having my future generations, I can be, as a lot of people mentioned, that you want to stay with your kids, home with your kids and stuff like that. So those things are now sinking in more and more. So that's why I would like to create that financial choice, as I would going platinum and beyond. So regarding my goals, I had a call with Roop, and I always have calls with Roop, as all of you do. I think the given the time, I'm also juggling with the job and situation. So I do want to create a stability in the business by having a team um, of, as first BBI and then BFI. And I still have to revisit that, but the goal was to have being silver by the end of this year, in this fiscal year. That was the goal before, but yes, I do have to make that milestones, and those milestones should be in the first quarter next year. And like first BBI, hoping to have BBI by December this month, this year, and then moving on to do BBI by March, and continue to see whether I can see a platinum ship, beginning to qualify a silver ship in this end of this fiscal year. So that is still on the charts, and I will be working with Roop to be able to see how I can make that happen. Thank you.
That's amazing, Ankur. Let me tell you about what commitment is. If anybody could give excuse, it was actually Ankur. Because she has such a plush job along with her husband, both having 6-figure incomes, and she's a postdoc at that. All right, and so much of work pressure, and plus she's also working for her green card. So a lot of things happening, but still, she is plodding on. She had to go on an emergency to India, but nobody ever came to know because she was on every Zoom, she was on every VS. And despite everything else, she made sure that she kept up to her standard of 1,000 personal points. That is why, so much of respect. Because she could have easily given excuses and nobody would have put in gun over here and said that, all right, you have to, you need to, how dare you, nobody would have. But it is her respect to herself, so that at the end of the day, when she looks at herself in the mirror, she says, all right, I have done the right thing. And that is what the business is all about. Thank you, Ankur. I can assure you, your friendship and your emotional dreams is not going to waste, and your dad and mom are going to see more of you. And last but not the least, Malini Ratnam.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, thank you for Roop. Yesterday, I told her I will be late because I had other plan, so I couldn't join at 6:30. Always, my goal is a platinum, silver and up. But before that, I have to requalify my 2,500 and 4,000, 6,000. Then only so we have to work for that. Actually, I started when I start this business, I didn't put my time for business. I only choose my product because me and my son had asthma, and we use a lot of products for the medication. So after I started to use the vitamins, so I didn't get any plan. I didn't know how to talk to people. Even only vitamins and home product only I was using. Slowly, my activity, after I stopped medication from the doctor prescription, I easy for me to share with other people and promote the product, whether it's a vitamins and home product and everything. I, I like to, because when I compare my business and the job, but the business is, if I put more time or more focus on the side, I can earn more money in the business than the job. Because job, every paycheck, they deduct $1,000 almost. So end of the year also we are paying tax for that. So when I compare, we are making more money at the business, so we can easily talk to people and show my paycheck or what else I can that. But I have 3 or 4 legs, but they are not regular, but still they are working. Last month I was a BFI. So because I am available after my work, my downline available in the morning. So very hard to meet the people, and when they message also, I am at work, I cannot come every time outside to talk to people. So I have to, the time is very important. I have to put my time with the downline people. So how and where I can help them. So I share my experience to them. Then only I can bring them in the steady business for them. Whatever the 3% or 6%, I want to teach them how to increase their PV level. So thank you, Rup. Every time Sid and Rup, they message me, okay, you are going BFI, then 3 legs or 4 legs. I really, that's the only one is motivate me. I don't want all of them in the business, but I talk to people. It's at least one products also I drive to the people, because I don't want the short term business. I want the long term. So I'm not focusing for the profit from the customer one time selling the product and lose my customer, not like that. So I won't keep the customer for every other month, every 3 months. I want them to keep reorder the product, right? So that's why this year, Roop, I will reach my 25 and 4,000 focus for silver with the people. But I need, definitely, I need Sit and Roop help. But still, yeah.
Thank you, Malini. For Malini, let me tell you, she's such a team player. She's in Vancouver, and when Harshan, Achal's team, and Subodh Tina's team were developing, she was so selfless, with her products, and she's always, giving. And this is your time, Malini. And thank you for standing strong with us. And I know she's also, by the way, a member of the 1,000-person PV Club. All right. So you, so many of us, all of us, let's just continue to be in 1,000-person PV Club and break BFI and BBIs every month. And without further ado, let me call upon Sid.
Rup, I have nothing. No, Rup, I'm good. You can close the meeting.
Are you sure?
Yeah, yeah.
So, all right, I know it's 11 already. We had a 1.5 hours meeting, and I know you've got stuff to do, especially East Coast. It's already late. But that is every team needs to have a mission. And the mission of this team is to remain united, like nobody's business. Everybody, people don't know that it is Smita or Gurjot or Hirsch or Kamini. They know it's a unit. Okay, we should work like that as a unit. And secondly, increasing numbers to the next function, which is coming up in Canada. The dates are already out, February 9, 10th, 11th. All right, you know that. And that means whether it's from West Coast, whether it's from Middle Coast, whether it's from whatever coast, we all need to be there. We all need to show our faces, and all of you guys need to bring at least 10 people with you, a team of 10. When you know that for sure, you're ready for your platinum ship next fiscal year. So this fiscal year is for building, okay? And building means that you remain as focused towards your micro goals as if you are in qualification. Unless you have that discipline, you will lose. You will lose the edge. You need to keep that discipline, and that is the only way you will keep moving on. All right, thank you very much. Lovely to listen to all of you guys. Let's have record number of guests at the Tuesday VES, and before that we have Saturday Kulin Desai meeting, 8:30. Ciao.
Thank you so much, Sid and Rup.
Thank you. Great
Bye.
meeting.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Sid and Rup.
Good, Rup.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.